Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Brown, and this is the Raptor Report. Now, given everything that's going on in the world right now, I guess you'd have to call this the home version of the Raptor Report. Obviously, with the virus and the resulting social distancing requirements, everything's changed. So why not the Raptor Report? So bear with us while we try this from home. But today I'd like to welcome in my guest, remotely of course, Tarlouh Gasque, the athletic director of Montgomery College. Tarlouh, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Well, Tarlouh, before we start talking about Raptors and Raptors athletics during these troubled times, I want to ask you about you and your family. How is everyone? I'm hoping everyone is healthy.
Everyone's doing very well, and I'm thankful for that. As you know, my daughter's also a physician, and she's out with the others on the front line, and therefore I'm thankful that we're all still healthy.
Well, I am too. So I believe you told me she's up in Philly, which has been, they've had a lot of it.
Yes, they have.
So let's hope she can stay healthy.
Thank you.
So let's switch gears a little bit, talk about Montgomery College athletics. You know, we're in uncharted waters here at Montgomery College. Everyone's working at home. Athletics is kind of at a, you know, it's been stopped for the foreseeable future. How are you and your staff handling it? How are you able to run the department remotely?
So one of the things that we have in our favor is that athletics usually works for the most part 7 days a week when we're in season and things are busy and bustling. We're working 7 days a week at odd hours. As a result, we all had VPN access. We all had laptops that we could use from home, and we could jump right into it without having to wait for IT accessibility. In addition, we have a lot of meetings, a lot of one-on-one meetings, a lot of meetings as a group staff meetings to stay in touch with what people are doing. And we were fortunate in that we had started moving a lot of our operations from manual with regards to when we have games with other colleges, we have to have a contract. When we have a home game, there's a contract between us and that other institution. We had already started an electronic system for e-signature that we've been able to continue to use. That's been very helpful right now. We've moved to electronic grade reports. That was a system we were already starting as well. So some of those things have fallen in with what we're doing and help make the operations a little more smooth, and not as manual as it had been in the past.
And of course, who knows when this is going to, when
Exactly.
we're going to return to something resembling normal. So
right.
All these steps that you're taking right now could help you for a long time.
Yes.
Not just now.
Yes, exactly. So I'm happy that we had started doing that. You know, my background is IT, my previous jobs. And one of the things that I know that I like is automation. I like to move away from paper, and now I'm glad that I pushed that in the athletic realm.
Very prescient. All right, well, let's talk about the student athletes. How are they doing? What are you hearing from them? I'm assuming that we have some that are in need. What issues are cropping up, and how are you as the athletic department and the college as a whole able to help these student athletes?
I am so grateful to the college for the support that they're giving to all of the students at Montgomery College. I think we're very fortunate to work for this institution. They have been real helpful in that a lot of our student athletes didn't have the ability to connect. They didn't have laptops. Some got laid off right away from their jobs, and a lot of them were laid off and didn't have any money. That was what they were relying on to pay their rent every month. We were able to follow the process that the college laid out in terms of emailing and contacting the foundation office to get support. And from what I can tell, just about everyone of the student athletes that asked for that support received it. So I'm really, really grateful to the college for that.
Yeah, I was thinking about those athletes. We know them all that they're going to school full time. They're playing a sport, but they're also working to
Yes.
make ends meet. Those are the ones that I've been really feeling for.
Yes. So, you know, and I know of a couple already that were helped to pay their rent and, you know, and got laptops. And I've been in contact with a lot of the student athletes since we went remote.
How are they doing with the academic side of things? I mean, they're now taking their classes remotely. Are they adjusting to that, coping with it?
Most of them are. And, you know, as I mentioned a little earlier, we're doing electronic grade reports. So we send grade reports to the professors and they can respond to us they fill out a form and we get the information regarding how they're doing. And I'm reviewing every single one of them because we're trying to ensure we get in touch with at-risk student athletes. We want to see that if the professor responded that they haven't seen the student and they were seeing them before we went remote, or they have issues with things that they're not doing in terms of what they're turning in and so forth. I'm trying to get that and get in contact with that student athlete coach and working also with the academic advisors. And based on what I can tell, most of them are doing okay, but some are having issues and we're trying to work through that and help them out. Like give them tutoring services that the college offers remotely and so forth that they just are not aware of. Getting them in touch with that.
Yeah, a lot of it is just getting the information out there to them.
Yes.
You know, there's so much available at the college that people aren't aware of.
Yeah, I mean, we have a website that the college has that they can go to, and they sometimes just don't even know about it and don't go there. We have also since added something called Raptor Remote to our website, to the athletics website, and we're going to send that via Twitter and Facebook so that they know that kind of summarizes what they can get access to there. And help them out. So I guess they don't have to do as many clicks. We're just trying as much as possible to get the information out to them.
So Tarlouh, you know, when I think of our student athletes, the ones I feel the most for are the spring athletes. I mean, these kids trained all year long. They got their season started, and then it just came to an abrupt end. How are those student athletes doing from the spring?
I believe they were basically stunned when they got the news and had to process it.
Now, how about the coaches? How are they handling it? I mean, you know, they work for this just as hard as the students.
The coaches actually were struggling with it as well because some had already gotten started and were just getting into the swing of things. But I just think in general, everybody was just surprised and stuck, basically.
What have you been able to do to help them?
The very first week when we started with online classes, I met with each of the teams individually and involved the academic advisors as well as athletic staff and the coaches to talk about what we could do to help them and to explain to them what the eligibility issues were.
And what would those eligibility issues be?
Well, for all the spring sports, they get to retain their eligibility. So if they were a freshman this year or a sophomore, they will be a freshman or sophomore next year. The sophomores, of course, have the option of whether they stay for next year or they move on. But if they stay, they will be a sophomore.
So if they stay, they will retain their eligibility.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Now, I know we've got to run here, but I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. We'll get back in touch with you, you know, if this goes on much longer to see how things are, because there's a lot of things that we haven't touched on, like the soccer complex. Are they working on it or not?
Yes, they're working on it, but we're still affected by this as well. So we're probably looking at an August kickoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself. Again, thanks so much for your time.
Okay.
To follow Montgomery College Athletics online, you can follow the Raptors on Twitter and on Instagram at MC_Raptors. You can follow the Raptors on Facebook at the Raptors MC, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MC_Raptor Boys. Tarlouh, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks to everybody for watching the Raptor Report today.